Alright, my dudes, I thought I would give it an exegesis update. So I still have about 37 hours left. I could have gone through this faster, but I gotta be honest. Like the beginning started out great, then it started becoming a slog. That's because you have to understand. I mean, my knowledge base is far greater than Philip K. Dick. I mean, I had the same experience from Philip K. Dick. He drank from the river of eternity, got possessed by the collective unconsciousness, God, whatever he saw, Sophia, and from there, I mean, that's why pretty much he obtained hypergraphy. His brain went a wackadoo, and then he started taking vitamins to whatever. He basically popped open his pineal gland, and that's what allowed him to connect to the other dimensions and get into spiritual contact with whatever, and see into alternate realities and stuff like that. I mean, weird stuff. I mean, I would say his stuff is good. It's actually very limited because of his perspective bias. It's because he basically has the ability to recall his previous incarnations. Just like in the higher esoteric stuff where past lives, whatever. So he basically remembers himself in the Greek and Roman period. So his knowledge basis goes from the modern time up to 70s, up to Nixon. A lot of it is predominantly Christian, of the he does venerate the 13th, 14th century stuff like Eckhart. I mean, Eckhart's right. I mean, I always try to tell people, sin is what it means without. It is indicative of that, the moon. I mean, we are the fallen state from the moon after the Great Flood, after all. If you care about the Great Flood stuff, and we're in a shadow bardo realm of Atlantis, and we're, whatever. I mean, that's more of the weirder stuff. But I mean, Eckhart's right, okay? He basically says that, he went against the orthodoxy of the church at the time, because there is the idea of original sin, you were born evil, sin, blah, blah, blah. Really, Eckhart, I mean, he was right. He said, no, you were born good. It's the world that's evil. The world is full of sin because that's a shadow reflection. It is ruled by the devil, the demiurge. I mean, the demiurge is, I call it the blind idiot god. It has many forms. Its final form is, Azathoth, who sits in the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Its local form is basically of that of, the one that sits at the center of their nerve. There's like a whole structure. It's even the solar system, whatever. That's why astrology matters. I mean, I don't really care about that stuff. But yeah, I would say that this stuff is pretty good. I mean, he does demonize the Romans a bit too much, but that's just, but he's technically right, because the Romans took over after they defeated the Greeks by exerting their will to power. That's from the demiurge thing of the Roman Black Iron Empire, whatever. But it's because this whole thing is stacked up on 3 layers. I mean, I say it all the time. It's the demiurge, which is the god of this world, the god of the material world, which is cut off from spirituality, cut off from the real God. It's not evil. It's just blind, idiot, and ignorant. Then there's Sophia. She's represented as wisdom, knowledge, the mental. And then there's God, which is quote-unquote love. But it's really the state of knowing, which is the whole point of Gnosticism, really. I mean, this is why, it makes a whole lot of sense when I really look into this. Because this whole, I'm getting to the part where it's very interesting, because he starts to talk about the demiurge, like the past 10 chapters. He's discussing, God, the Godhead, Sophia. I mean, this is why I always recommend people read the book Jesus and the Lost Goddess. It's because if you understand the devil, it just makes sense, right? The devil, I mean, it's basically the demiurge, right? It thinks it's God. It's not. It's blind, idiot. It goes to the lowest state. So if you're lazy, passive, and ignorant, then you are basically the embodiment of the devil, which is why in modern religion, and every religion that I've seen, they want you to see lazy, passive, and ignorant slaves instead of you crawling out of the muck and finding your own spiritual enlightenment. For the kingdom of heaven is within. It's basically, the kingdom of heaven, the pearly gates, is basically you unlocking your pineal gland. I mean, that is the God gland, whatever. So you can basically see into the light of eternity. That's like opening up the pearly gates of heaven. I mean, everybody knows the story of you descending into, hell to fight the green dragon. to get the pearl to save the princess. I mean, this is basically a classic fairy tale stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's getting pretty good. I mean, I pretty much get it. I mean, I've always gotten it. I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, it explains why this world is the way it is. This infantilization process. All right, there's the natural threefold path of man or of the woman. It's like it's basically the caterpillar, the pupa stage, and the butterfly. I mean, that's why the elites always do this stuff. But basically, they want everybody to be stuck at the caterpillar stage, and then they never turn to the butterfly, and then the demiurge just has like this. Basically, I mean, it's weird. I mean, but look, I mean, I don't know if I should really say this. I mean, it's because even in the Eastern stuff, it's obviously been corrupted, the whole Atman or Anatman. And Atman just means that you're always in a state of flux anyway, so you should be focusing on the transition phase from a caterpillar to a pupa, which is the state of 29 to 33. That's at the state of Virgo, into that of the butterfly. That's when you cross over to Capricorn. But then people invert it, saying, oh, the final truth is that you don't exist and you need to annihilate your Atman. No, because the Atman is supposed to bridge out through the feminine water axis and touch back onto the Brahman, and then you basically use your ego as a vehicle vessel to actualize yourself into the truth of eternity, which is the whole immortality stuff from the Egyptians. I mean, he even mentions the Egyptians a little bit, like Mayat. I mean, I don't understand why he doesn't understand that the golden fish symbol is not just a symbol of Jesus. I mean, that's Piscean, which is why it's associated with Jesus, because he's the fisherman of men's souls, just like Moses was the shepherd, which is why he's associated with the ram. But the golden fish symbol goes back to Osiris. I mean, I would like to wait a little bit to make more conclusions. But from what I've read of Philip K. Dick, is that he's more of a researcher. He's not actually connected to any secret societies or into any real occult stuff, even though I thought he might have been with references to Sirius, but it's because he got the alien signal from Sirius. I mean, he doesn't say it outright because he doesn't want to sound crazy, but that's pretty much what I figured out anyways, because that's where that signal comes from, or the birthing place of souls comes through the angel Stargate portal from Sirius, whatever, and you get beamed down anyways. That's why Christmas is venerated. I mean, that's like weirder stuff, man. I don't really care about that, but I mean, right now, look, I would say that up until now, it's been pretty much a slog. Going through the Godhead is very important, like the whole. But I mean, I do understand on a deeper level, like like Typhon versus Anubis, Ahura Mazda versus Ahriman. The arcing path of Jesus versus Judas. TLDR. I mean, the whole point of me even going through exegesis for the Matrix, but it's really about the liberation or actualization of the soul for liberation. I mean, purification of spirit. Caterpillar. You are a caterpillar. You got to eat that louche. Make your own louche sandwich for yourself. Eat it, and then use that to pupate at the crossing mark where you reach your spiritual enlightenment. At the natural state would be like 29 or 30 to 33. That's the point when you reach into the balance of scales into Virgo, and then you emerge out of the pupa and become a butterfly at Sagittarius and soar, arc your wings, and whatever, dude. I mean, it's literally this thing. But I mean, this thing, it's a limited, it's a natural cycle. It's like the hero's journey. I mean, he mentions a lot of books. Like, he does reference Carlos Castaneda's from The Art of Dreaming, which have read. I mean, he's more, Carlos Castaneda, I have read his books. It's technically right, but he stole it from the shamans of Mexico. He references Joseph Campbell. It's very good. I've referenced Hero with 1,000 Faces. He references a lot of things, even like a little bit of Rosicrucianism. But I can tell by listening to Philip K. Dick, he has a very cursory understanding. Where his strength lies from is from his intuition and his activation of his pineal gland to see into the other side, because he has hypergraphy. He basically has autistic superpowers like me. Okay, like he literally says that in his book Exegesis, I used to be a dummy and then something happened in my 370 whatever thingy, and then for some reason I just got super smart and could like see alternate reality and remember my past incarnations and stuff. Yeah, I can do that too. So he was confused by it because he's pretty much the only person that he ever met that could do it. And he always talks about this this signal of this thing. I mean, this is the tetragrammaton of the red, the yellow, and crossing over through the black. I mean, this is the natural trinity of whatever. And you actually see it in this picture of the Baba Chaka. I mean, this picture of the Baba Chaka is far better than the other one I had. I mean, if you didn't notice, the Wheel of Dharma at the middle here, this is like the zodiac, where human earth realm stage. There's a natural cycle of the sun and the three eyes, just like the red, the gold, the black. It is of the three suns, as you see here in the tetragrammaton. It's literally the exact same thing. That's literally the crown of the falsification of God, I guess. I mean, this is basically the demiurge. I mean, I call him Mickey Mouse because Mickey Mouse is easier. And then this is outside of the realm of the demiurge, because what the demiurge is it creates a unique, I guess, circus show. It's very tantalizing. Basically, you came out here. I mean, well, basically, it came through the middle. You got to go out the way you came in. So you came in. Well, technically, you came in through the navel, and then you got to exit out through the crown. You want to get into the Vedic stuff. But yeah, this place is like a birthing womb, and then, then you bounce out, like, become a Buddha, whatever. I mean, you're basically an unindividuated being, blah, blah, blah. You play this game, whatever, then you get out and become a Buddha or saint. I mean, you have to be a Buddha or saint to get into heaven. It's not as hard as a lot of people make it seem with the whole religious, spiritual dogma stuff. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's just your astral chart. Give to yourself, give to the world. I mean, I highly recommend you don't be ignorant. The only sin that exists is ignorant. If you are ignorant and lazy and passive and submit to authority and power, like Mars, Jupiter, and the Sun system that we exist here, then you might as well be licking the boots of the Kamamara, the devil, okay? But if you choose to pick knowledge, learn things, go outside, leave your room, go do stuff, maybe pick up a hobby, do stuff, actually do for what you're supposed to do here, and then, enjoy this world, because this world is basically in a non-stop state of a downward spiral, which is why I wondered why from the back in the old days, it seems like we're entering into a period state of spiritual decline or a technological decline. As the natural reset of the system when the three suns come together, and then that should be in about 30 years, because that's why the elites are freaking out, because they understand the natural resetting of the game. That's the resetting of the age anyways. And then the whole deck here, Monopoly, gets reshuffled. But yeah, I'm actually having a very good time from Exegesius, because he's discussing the devil right now. So this is the blind idiot god known as the demiurge.
From a Tehardian standpoint, it seems to be consciousness either creating itself or being created.
Consciousness.
But it certainly is interesting that the Krasis building is wisdom. That I am sure of. Okay,
liberation through wisdom, which is Sophia, which is why they've taken... I mean, this is why there's an attack on the feminine axis everywhere, which is why they removed Sophia from, that's why I recommend the book Jesus and the Lost Goddess. The natural stacking part is consciousness. This would be like, Kevin. Then there would be subconsciousness or the mental mind. This would be Pink Elephant. And then there would be the unconsciousness, which is like the true God aspect, not the demiurge, because the demiurge is basically Mickey Mouse material. This would be like Pink Lotus. And then you do whatever. I mean, it's just as easy street. So, I mean, I don't know if people really care about this, but I'm actually having a lot of fun relearning about the whole demiurge. And but the problem with Philip K. Dick is that he has the same problem that I've seen everywhere with even spirituality of Atlantis or Jesus and Lost Goddess people or everybody. They're like, oh, the humanity's on the right track. It's on the second coming, and then we're finally gonna win. No, I mean, well, it depends. I mean, look, there's this natural cycle, 20 years. Everybody gets on, everybody gets off, all right? I mean, I pretty much exited out of the whole allure of Mickey Mouse because of the Voldemort disease. I mean, the Voldemort disease is the best thing that happened to me. I made a lot of friends. I got over my neuroses. I did everything I had to do. I read a lot of books. I got over it. I'm not stuck in a cage of fear or anxiety or stress or I mean, it's whatever, dude. I mean, I've moved on. But yeah, I'm actually having a really good time going over this stuff again. So but I do find it very concerning when I try to listen to other truthers where they. Is it not obvious? I mean, look, I talk about Jesus all the time, but I don't say that he died for your sins and he is the blood sacrifice of whatever, dude. No. He is dead. He is gone. You should follow in his footsteps and, follow the path that he went on for his spiritual journey. For one day you too will die. It's like the whole Jesus. It's the whole story of the mustard seed. There's a story of the mustard seed in Jesus. There's a story of the mustard seed in the story of the Buddha. From what I found out, everything has been twisted and corrupted, especially in spirituality and the truthers, to go in favor of the demiurge, which I would classically call as the devil or Mickey Mouse. But we live in a strange world where if I even talk about this in multiple religions and people call me like, oh, he must be a deceiver or Satan or the devil or he's in a secret society. Dude, I don't care. I've already moved on, all right? Because the window, as far as I'm concerned, the window is, it's pretty much already closing pretty soon. So January, that's why I keep bringing up that January 6th crap. I'll keep you guys posted. I do have to get through some more comments and obviously do some follow-ups for like Rainbow Tomato, Pamela, and Violet when I get a chance. All right, but TLDR, this is very good. And then I was watching. Should I really talk about Levette? Dude. Okay. Oh yeah. One other thing. What was it? The Essences of the Upanishads. Yeah, I would highly recommend this book if you don't have enough time to read the Upanishads themselves. This would be more for Pamela. Okay, look, I don't know if I'll talk about other stuff, because Levette says that everybody's saying pretty much the same thing I've been saying. They're gonna take out the economy. They want to start a war at go times when they take out Hagia Sophia. It's in goddamn iPad goat. You know what, fuck it. I'll show it for you real quick. God damn it. You can tell my voice. I'm very busy. I have to go through Exegesis, the Gospel of Thomas, the Secret Book of John, Jesus and the Lost Goddess, and the New Testament, just for the Matrix. That's about the resurrection. So, okay, yeah, dude. Well, I might cover this a little bit, but this doesn't count. Any video I delete don't count. Okay, let's see.
Okay.
That's Ariamon.
We need to go over iPet Goat 2 again.
iPet Goat 2, how?
Aquarius. Yeah. He's the king. That's fixed air, Aquarius. A lot of people want to appoint Uranus and all this to that. No.
Yeah, because that's the modern stuff. Aquarius is always Saturn. Pisces is always Jupiter. I do understand that there's modern stuff. The modern astrology is goddamn awful. I had to go through, when I was researching astrology, I started my way from the woke astrology to modern astrology, to classical astrology, then to Vedic and Kabbalistic astrology, then Babylonian, then I went to Atlantean. Atlantean astrology is weird because I have to incorporate Vulcan, which is on the other side of Venus, and I had to incorporate Lucifer, which is the planet that is destroyed during the war in heaven. That's the whole fall of Lucifer comes from anyways. That's the asteroid belt.
Well, that's been reassigned. That's modern day reassignment. The alchemy is clear. Saturn's house is not divided. He rules.
The alchemy, that's I would call that the modern alchemy. The problem with me is that I just know stuff way, way, way back in the day, back to the light being immaterial, alien, God, angels, whatever you want to call them.
Aquarius and Capricorn.
But I do really have to say this. A lot of people, they venerate too much of their human physical incarnation. This is merely a stepping stone on the path to the kingdom of heaven or Elysium or eternity or nirvana, whatever. We're trying to get back to where we came from. That's why Aletheia is always venerated. We're trying to return ourselves back to wholeness, finding of our other self.
Capricorn.
I mean, we came here, look, TLDR, I mean, you actually incarnated here for the shits and giggles, alright? If you appreciate the shits and giggles, you see Mickey Mouse as a trickster, and you basically take the high road and chill out, and, don't be ignorant, and then just move on. I mean, that's how you basically win.
That's why all things have been put under me. New heaven, Aquarius, new earth, Capricorn. All other houses are divided, not Saturn. Saturn is the god of heaven and earth.
Saturn, that will also be Kronos, the golden age of Kronos, and also in reference to Osiris. I mean, this goes back way, way far. So,
The third heaven.
I mean, there's actually three suns. There's three Zeuses. I mean, there's like Zeus, Hades. That's the sun you see outside. There's Zeus, Neptune of the one layer star above that, up towards Olympus, and then there's then there's like the Uranus of everything. But I mean, just like weirder stuff. I mean, I'd have to really review the Aeneid. That's like that thing written by Virgil, which would be basically the Bible for the Roman Empire.
The most high of heaven.
It's one of the four
is
classics.
Wings on the back, Libra.
Libra, because it's the balancing force right before Scorpio, before the crossing of the galactic center, which is why Scorpio is associated with life, death, and rebirth. I mean, it's the point where, Jesus was, crowned with his black thorns over his head. That's Scorpio. If you want to go back to even Egyptian mythology, this would be Horus, after he got stung by the scorpion. Hello, which is why in the original astrology it was associated with the eagle, which is Horus. And this shit's obvious to me.
Wings on the feet, Mercury, Gemini. Already wasted too much time talking because we're talking about what's fixing. Here we go.
Ooh, here. Ooh. Man, the economy better crash, I swear to God.
So he's black.
Like, I waited 10 years for this, baby.
Blasting his head wide open. And then what we see, this is what I call the go signal. When this happens, you're going to know what time it is. People are screaming, Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming.
Look, Jesus is not coming. Jesus died, and you were supposed to follow in his footsteps on a path to heaven, okay? This is why this is one of the greatest trickster jobs I've ever seen, which is why I always venerate the original version of Christianity, because it's pretty cut and clear what you're supposed to do.
Rapture.
Yeah, there ain't no rapture. Come on, man.
I'm sorry, but...
Yeah, this is the land of suffering. I mean, through suffering, you venerate, the ego, and transmute that like an alchemy from lead to gold or from carbon to diamond. I mean, that's what this place is for.
That man of sin must be
Man of sin.
revealed. That day shall not come. What day? The day of us gathering back unto the Lord. It cannot come till, one, there be a falling away. There's a gazillion different what a falling away is.
Falling away is just the rejection of the, God, rejection of the Holy Spirit, whatever. These materialistic people who have basically supplemented spirituality for politics or phony, baloney religion, the Orthodox current form. I mean, whatever, dude. But I can't really blame people. But everybody, they eventually have to make their choice in life anyways when they hit the cruxing point of Scorpio. When they usually reach, when they reach 38 to 42, that's when they got to make a big decision. Are you going to side with the devil, or you're going to side with God? And one choice is you believing in fear in a clown show. The other you is waking up. I mean, that's the whole point of the story. I actually find this game very fair. It's actually built in, like this walkthrough that's given to you. You have multiple wake-up points. You have a wake-up point at 20, 21, 23, 25, 28, 30 to 33. That's a spiritual awakening. That's very important. You have a final point at the 38 to 42. This is my Game of Dharma age of progression. Then you probably expend that will through your midlife crisis phase of Sagittarius. That's when you buy a new car. And then you have the final point of Capricorn. So, and then after that, if you don't win by Aquarius or before retirement age, you're an old man, you're stuck in your ways, which is why I do not help boomers anymore, just because they'll never get it. I mean, they've already lost. They got to try again. So
interpretations of that. But that man of sin is the moon. It's the Aramaic name for sin is the moon, till that man of sin be revealed. Now, markets crash, goes.
I mean, when I hear the man of sin, I mean, I actually think of Sister La Muerta, as the three sons. I mean, when I actually look at the Book of Revelations, it's really encoding this event that's going to happen, which is the return of the black sun, the return of the sun, the return of the red sun as it merges over and causes massive ecological disasters as we shift into the age of Aquarius. I mean, that's why there's this whole green movement and pollution. It's because they're pre-fronting the game. They know it's going to happen. They're blaming you for it when they know it's a natural cycle of the game of Dharma. So that way they can, oh my God, you're the bad guy. Therefore, you need to give us the power so we can be your god kings for the age of Aquarius. Oh, because you did it. No, because it's a natural turning of the wheel by the Kamamara. I mean, when I hear man of sin, I think of like the Son of Man. The Son of Man is he who is the number of man, which is 666, the Babylonian coding for the sun. Hello. Therefore, sun and sin, the black sun, the return of the black sun, and then it crosses over here with the red sun, and then you get this natural cycle as we shift into the age of Aquarius. I mean, but whatever, dude. I mean, okay, yeah, I gotta stop meandering.
Signal. Let's catch this symbolism here, and this is the go where they do what? They're blowing up a mosque.
Boom.
That's a mosque. The symbol for Islam is the crescent and the star.
I mean, the symbol for Islam, I mean, this is what I talk about, the whole splitting up the religions. I mean, Christianity is actually, I mean, well, it has a mercurial figure. It's more Jupiterian. I would say that the Eastern stuff is more mercurial. Islam, it's more Venus. I mean, that's why the moon and the star is actually in reference to Venus, because Venus has phases like the moon. But that's because secretly Venus, what we see in the sky, probably is a moon, and then there's the invisible planet on the other side of Venus called Vulcan. But whatever.
The crescent is the moon. The moon is the power of the water pillar. It's the capstone.
Yeah, water pillar, Sophia. Hello, I mean, I said this from the start. They are after Sophia. They're after the feminine axis. They're after the, collective subconsciousness of man, which is why they pumped out the whole Voldemort disease on the TV screen so people can shape out the next reality for the next 20 years. And we enter into a doom or depression quest, like where Neo in the Matrix Resurrection, he's wearing a beanie. I can already imagine what it's going to be. All right, like in the first movie, what was it? Neo has to save Trinity. The second movie is Trinity is going to be the one who has to save Neo. They're going to do a switching of roles.
Cardinal water, Cancer, the moon. And then you have cardinal cross.
Okay.
And cardinal fire is Mars. Going to be a mosque, being that it is here. Here's one.
Okay, Sophia is the feminine axis, obviously that of, compassion, empathy. I mean, they're always after the feminine axis. I mean, if you didn't notice, I mean, the demiurge is very, it's very logic-brained. It's like insect-like systems of systems. I mean, the whole system is designed to enforce the demiurge, which is why if you were left-handed, where you were creative, they force you to use your right hand. I mean, that's obvious.
She's weeping. They're taking it as Taurus, Freemasonry, and Aries on straight up Molech.
Moloch, okay, Nergal, whatever.
Communism. The year of the tiger begins on February the 1st.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, yeah, dude, 2022, a lot of stuff's going to happen. Specific dates, sorts of Chinese New Year's leading up to Chinese Olympics. So that'd be like, February 1st, year of the tiger's hatred. War, one of the three poisons in Buddhism. Three poisons being one, greed, monkey, ignorance, pig, hatred, which is the tiger, which is why the one ferments war.
2022.
Also, there's going to be stuff happening towards the Ides of March. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in 2022. Like, specifically, I want to say the first half of the year up to July 8th or 6th. I gotta get Stellarium, whatever, but I just don't care.
This is from the tiger,
Yeah.
and he's got on the crimson thread around his throat.
Crimson thread of fate and souls in like Chinese mysticism.
That's the scapegoat for Azazel. That's
Scapegoat for Azazel. I mean, the son of China during the Chinese New Year's, that's a scapegoat for something, whatever. That's why there's political sanctions, and then all this stuff on YouTube.
sent off into the wilderness.
Azazel,
This is not
Azazel, and it's Azazel and Gilgamesh. Well, it's the guy who got abandoned on Mars. This goes back to the ancient stuff. I talked about this before, but this is like way too far. This is where the man on Mars, that face effigy, actually comes from Azazel, before the creation of Earth. I mean, whatever, dude. I mean, I say it all the time. It's like second Earth, but it's too far out there.
our New Year. This is not America. Should come at it again. Chinese New Year. That's what we're expecting. And then this is when the one whose feet's in the fire, red on top, which is an air sign, fire on the bottom. That's a masculine axis. And here he is.
And they want to come after the feminine axis. Yes, we know this.
Rawr, 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 rawr. The media is really going to be coming at us when the
Ooh, and then here, this is literally the Matrix. This is the breath of God, of life, fire, prana, bursting through basically the firmament of the glass, of the rectangularity of the screen. Like in Philip K. Dick's exegesis, he always talks about a golden rectangle, but in our reality, we're always familiar with the monolith, the black rectangle. I mean, if you paid attention to the beginning of my channel when Tian was here, I talked about like this doorway thing opening of light of eternity. It was like shutting, like when I had a premonition or whatever.
market bursts.
Yep.
Market crashes. Mosque gets bombed. You're doing that dance. Again, Gemini symbolism.
Yeah, go Shiva, go Shiva.
Gemini doing his
Or
thing.
Kali, whatever.
Loki, the trickster.
Loki the trickster, and so saith American gods, we are not in the age of technology, we're in the age of treachery. And nothing has changed since the beginning of my channel. I mean, I've already known all this stuff is going to happen, and nothing has changed, except I had to watch a lot of people basically solidify and cement their judgment for eternity. But whatever, dude. I mean, try again. I mean, however, dude. I mean, I'm just meandering. I gotta chill out. And then, yeah, dude, I'm gonna go back listening to this. Okay, so maybe I'll do a presentation on the devil. Remember I said I would do a variety show for the devil one day? But I don't know. I don't want to, scare people. Okay. Hope you guys have a good night. So just quick update, but it was longer than I thought. All right. Bye.